Can you speak on it real quick for like how we just talked about the dudes? Like, well, you said how you came from it, that how you was out there chasing the ladies and skipping the money. Like, what about that dude? Like, I was always told the same thing. Like, you out there trying to be like trying to be the man and trying to be the player. You know what I'm saying? Getting the ladies, and somebody comes and tells you, like OG come and tell you, like, hey man, look, get your paper right, man, get your shit together. These girls, they always gonna be around, and that man that has that mindset that's like, I don't want those other ladies. I want this lady right now. That's why I can't let it go. Like, what do you got a message for that dude?
Word. Yeah, man. I feel like, you see, in the manosphere, I talk about this on my show too. Mm-hmm. In the manosphere, we call a nigga that falls in love, quote unquote, or wants falls in love with a baby mom or wants to have a family, a simp. Now, for me, I feel like every man should have his heart broken. Every man should experience that feeling of love, whatever you define it to be, because you know what you want and what you don't want. And you have a better understanding of how you deal with shit, the women, etc. So for me, being quote unquote good with the ladies, because back in the day it was mad easy, bro. 49, 90s and shit. Nigga, all you had was a little bit of game, boom. Yeah, for sure. And there was no social media, so I was like bagging them up.
Yeah.
But and again, because we love women and shit like that, I tend to see what happens is too, when you're quote unquote good with women tend to want to keep you all to themselves. And what happens with that is that you tend to lose focus. So instead of going to the gym, going after that bag, I'm taking away quality time with the bitch.
Yeah.
But in the long run, when you don't prioritize that and you prioritize or pedestalize the woman in eventually tends to resent you because A, you're not the same dude that she was attracted to because you don't have no more mystery. B, you're not getting your weight up. You're gaining weight and shit because you guys are eating fucking in the bedroom. C, your money's not up.
Yeah.
So, and then the bitch winds up leaving you, see, and then the guys get mad. They get red pill rage and then they want to say bitches ain't shit. This is why it's so important that if I had an OG, spilled milk, if I had an OG telling me that, I would have saved myself some time. So for me, being a quote unquote OG, I want to tell niggas, listen, I can assure you, bro, think back at your last heartbreak. Think back of all the niggas, the quote unquote high value man, whatever you want to call them and shit. They, before they came up, they didn't really get bitches like that.
Yep.
So if your goal is to get women, you got to get your weight up, get your money up, do all that shit, and everything else will just come by default. You know what I'm saying? So I had order of operation wrong. It was all about chasing women, having fun. Now look at me now. I ain't doing bad. I ain't broke. But what I'm saying, I could have been a lot better if I had my priorities in order. And I think that's very important for men to understand. You got to prioritize and understand what you prioritize. Are you prioritizing yourself or a woman?
Yeah.
It's up to you.
Okay. Where guys missing this affluence? Like, where can they gain this?
It's so easy now. But at the same time, it's confusing. It's like we got 50 channels of different people saying the same thing, content. I got my own shit going on. I got a life outside of this shit too. So like, what do we choose? What do we select? It's kind of like women. What do we always say when dating apps? Guys are having a hard time. Most guys are invisible to women on dating apps, etc., because women have hundreds of men to choose from, whereas we only have a small percentage of that. Yeah. So when the more choices we have, the more confused we are, and the longer it takes us to make a decision. The sooner you make a decision and act on something, the sooner you're going to see if it's the right decision or the wrong decision. You can't know what you like until you know what you don't like. And the way that you figure out what you like and don't like is by putting action. So when I say what can guys find this information, first things first, you got to do order of operations. If you are listening to a YouTube channel for 5 years and that person is still talking about the same shit, they haven't grown and neither have you. You have to look at yourself in the mirror.
Yeah.
It's all about evolving. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, like when the C-19 hit, everybody was like on lockdown. I was wearing, I'm a corporate dude and shit, so I was just wearing sweatpants because I was working from home. Yeah. And then when the shit opened back up, I put my shit on. I'm like, damn, everything is tight. I gained weight.
Yeah.
You don't really see how stagnant you can be when you're living day to day. This is why you have to challenge yourself. So if a content creator is not challenging you, the viewer, the subscriber, to become better, not just by saying it, by being the proof, evolving. And I'm not talking about getting better lighting, better microphone, better studios and shit. It's not about that, because your studio upgrade, my nigga, is not doing shit for me or for the niggas that's listening to you.
Exactly.
So what I'm saying is it's all about upgrading your message. And as we get older, we should be evolving, because every day I wake up and I learn something new. I realize I ain't know shit. Just like I learn something new about a bitch every single day because I'm like, damn. And I learn something new about myself. So where can men find answers? First thing, you got to look at yourself and figure out what questions you want to ask so you can get the right answers. Niggas are looking for answers without asking the right question. Because I could watch a podcast and shit that's giving me a whole bunch of answers to questions I don't even have.
Exactly.
When I first came out in this shit, I thought I had to bash women because it's red pill. Red pill, you got to be hating women and shit. But I'm like, but I don't really have problems with women like that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I mean, they bitches and shit and they hoes and shit, but I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you have to figure out as a consumer and as a subscriber or a supporter what direction you want to go, and then kind of gravitate to those people who want that same thing, and then you do a process of elimination to see what is relevant and how you can apply it to your life.
That's right. Well said on that. Where can, I'm gonna say the same age group, man? Well, let's do 18-25. Man, where should these guys look for leadership?
Man, it's crazy, bro. I date a woman who works in the school system. Okay. And we have conversations a lot about these young kids and shit, talking about Riz and shit, Rizzler. They want Riz, they want Riz. And it's crazy, bro, because the school system is not the same thing. Like I said, I date a woman who it's way different, bro. And and I confirmed that during the C19, with virtual learning. Like I'm like, yo, this is what they teaching you and shit. You're not really learning anything. And I find that school is only grooming younger boys and younger girls. Well, wait. School is grooming boys to become more emasculated, more feminine, and to follow a female leadership role. Now, who's teaching our kids for the most part? See, women. Women are mostly teachers.
Yeah, majority.
Now, when they incentivize the women and boys and girls will learn, the same curriculum, but the curriculum is geared more towards women. There's more scholarships. There's more funding for female entrepreneurs, et cetera. So 18 to 25, those are critical years because what happens is, my bro, I was the big man on campus. But once I graduated from high school, my nigga, real shit happened.
Real life opened up. That's right.
Real shit happens. So like your boys, you scatter. Everyone's going to the army. They're doing college and shit. So then you really have to figure yourself out. And unfortunately, even if you had a father in your life, most of us, we came into our own late 20s, maybe 30s, maybe some of us even in our 40s because we were still trying to figure ourselves out. So again, it all goes back to, I feel bad for the guys who are raised by single moms because single moms, unfortunately, man, and even though I go in on them sometimes, it's not really their fault, but they don't really have a lot of guidance. So for me, I really think that men are very fortunate. It's a gift and a curse, just like how we hated social media. Social media is a gift and a curse for men because we get to see how women
exactly. That's how it's utilized.
We just have to accept it. Right. So for men, 18 to 25, you have a lot more things at your disposal than we had. Books, coaching, social media, YouTube, etc. So it's all about customizing the direction that you want to go. And I'm going to say this for you guys that are turning 18. There's going to come a point in time that you're going to have to decide between your masculinity and you being a mama's boy or your mother's son. Very important because you sometimes, depending on your mother's son has you in a particular light where, you put, and again, I always say this all the time, you respect your mother, but it's not about who she is, it's about what she is. Your mother is a woman too. So for me, when I embraced my masculinity, my mother and my relationship kind of got strained a little bit because I wasn't putting up with the bullshit. And even though my father was a Rolling Stone, my mother wasn't an angel in that scenario. Okay. So at the end of the day, you really have to take your due diligence and do your own research and try things out to see what's going to work for you if you want to be a quote unquote man and kind of, go your own way, if you will.
Okay.